say you stand to inherit $90 million from your parents.
That's a lot of money.
You kill them, and now you're in jail for the rest of your life. Who gets that money? Like, where does that go?
Well, the person that committed the murder, if they're adjudicated and convicted guilty, is not going to get the money. They're not going to get the money because in California, where the Menendez brothers live, they have the Slayer rule, which prevents somebody who committed a crime that caused the death of the person that they ultimately would inherit from obtaining that benefit. Now, that's California.
That's probably a good rule.
Nationally, there's something called the forfeiture rule, which was passed in 1982, that kind of does the same thing, that says if you're committing a crime, if you murder somebody, then you should not be able to inherit what you would have inherited if you hadn't. But it just skips you. If you have kids, it still goes to your kids. So you could, theoretically, you could enrich your children by murdering your parents, knowing the money would bypass you and go to all of your kids. We really don't want that to happen either, but the logic behind that is the kids that would inherit, the grandkids, didn't have anything to do with the murder, so why should they be punished as a consequence? But to your question, no. If you murder somebody in the United States, you are not going to be able to legally inherit that money.
Okay, but
what if you were resentenced at some point, released, now you're out of jail?
Where's my money?
Where's my money?
They siphon the money out, Noble.
So that would take a lengthy amount of time. So you're going to go to jail, then you're going to appeal. That's going to take a very, very long time. The estate will be adjudicated already in that time frame. So let's say you had children or there were other legal heirs that were entitled to the money, and it's already all been distributed. Now you have later, your conviction is thrown away and you're innocent, and your claim is, well, I should be entitled to some of that money because I didn't do it. And remember, just because they find you not guilty doesn't mean you didn't do it. It just means not beyond a reasonable doubt. So you would have a challenge. You'd have to go back and try to collect that money from the people that it had already been distributed to, who probably spent most of it.
They did. It was not 90 million. It was like maybe closer to 15. But what was left was the house in Calabasas, a condo in New Jersey, which would have been worth a lot more than when they went away. So where's that property? Who owns it? Who has it now?
It's a good question. There would be litigation involved to try to collect back from whichever heirs ultimately collected during the pendency that you were in prison.
Okay.
Good luck trying to collect it.
Now.
Okay.
Good luck.
Can a judge reopen a case and make different decisions
because of Netflix?
Based solely on public opinion?
No. A judge is not going to. First of all, would have to go to the appellate courts, and the appellate courts would have to decide based on motion by the defendants on whether there was new evidence sufficient to reopen the case. The individual judge isn't going to make that decision. An appellate court's not going to make that decision off of a TikTok video based off of a Netflix documentary. There's going to have to actually be new evidence. Now, that does not mean that new things don't come to light through documentaries where people have done some discovery and found things that maybe weren't produced in the original trial. An appellate court could probably be swayed in that regard, but there's going to have to be some new evidence of some sort. Otherwise, the judicial system's going to say justice has already been rendered. We're done.
But can the judge come out and say, I'm going to change your sentence because I saw this documentary on Netflix?
No. A judge would be voted out of office pretty quickly if judges were being swayed by documentaries on Netflix.